morning, this is Debbie.
Debbie Bennett owns the L&K Barber Shop in downtown Bend, and she gets this question a lot.
So what's the story? How did it start?
What's the story with all those belt buckles? An entire wall full of belt buckles.
I think there's 385, 86.
She's right, 386. I counted. And how did it start?
Well, that section right there where it says Lou is the first belt buckles.
Lou is former owner Lou Bankston, king of the flat tops, don't you know, and the L in L&K Barbershop.
Now, you got to realize that's a lot of years ago.
And this is the K, Kathy Bankston, also a career barber. One day in '68, she and Lou closed up their Salem shop and drove to Bend.
In the next 2 days, we bought a barbershop and a house. And we were here 30 days later.
And so, 55 years ago, the sanitary barbershop in the classic O'Kane building became the L&K. But this is a story about belt buckles, right? And those questions.
Where'd you get all those belt buckles? Why do you have all those belt buckles? How did you get them started?
They started with a gift from a customer, a 1983 Sisters Rodeo belt buckle.
He asked Lou one day if he'd like to have one. Lou said he'd love it. Every year, he would bring him a new one. I don't know what his name is. I cannot remember it, and it was Lou's customer.
Lou was my barber by appointment.
His name is John Turner.
I guess I just wanted him to think well of me, so I took him something.
Turner, now 98, commissioned and helped design the buckles to sell in the gift shop he and his wife Barbara owned in Sisters, where they still live.
That's the first buckle.
That's buckle number 1.
Right. There's a cowboy roping a calf with the 3 sisters in the background, and they were always, I think, in the background when possible.
Limited edition, 500 a year, carefully numbered.
I don't know how many is in the barbershop, but that took them for years.
They start at 1983, and we have them up to 2010.
And John, just look at what you started.
That's amazing. I feel good about that. I have to go see that.
It made for great conversation, and that, of course, brought in more belt buckles.
Lots more buckles. From other rodeos around the West, from 2 different San Jose radio stations, from the NRA and the OSP and the ASG, Anchorage Sand and Gravel.
People send them to us in the mail. They came here on vacation. They go, oh, I got a belt buckle. I'll send it to you.
Buckles featuring working loggers and drinkable loggers, commemorating classic warplanes and classic 3-masted schooners, even a beadwork buckle of what might be a wolf howling at the moon.
They go, oh, my grandfather had this one, my grandfather had that one. You guys might as well have it because I don't know what to do with it.
There are law enforcement buckles and military buckles and a scattershot of gun buckles. There's a Benny Beaver buckle, but this is the only duck buckle we found. No sign of puddles.
Are they still coming in? What's the most recent one you've got?
Oh, I don't know.
The Secret Service, a chainsaw, ferries, smokes, whatever. And of course, they aren't just chunks of metal, there are people involved. There are stories on that wall. This one celebrates a rare event that may never happen again. The Trailblazers championship run in 1977.
One right there with the Sisters belt buckles. It's a Redmond smoke jumper. Now he still comes in here. He's retired now.
The first pictures are just in, and the consequences are costly.
This one from a customer who worked on a cleanup crew when the Exxon Valdez ran aground and dumped 10 million gallons of crude oil into Alaska's Prince William Sound.
2 days before the oil flow from the tanker Valdez can be stopped.
There's even a chunk of the wrecked ship's hull.
Do you have a favorite one?
Well, of course I do. One of my customers, I started cutting his hair when he was in first grade or so. Cut his hair till he got out of high school. He went into the Navy, and he's brought me 2 Navy belt buckles so far. So those 2 have to be my favorite.
And yes, they are still coming in.
So those would be the newest ones down in there.
Gonna run out of space sometime.
I know, but we can take some stuff out because we got other odds and ends stuff, you know, over there.
And there is just a little more wall space at the L&K.
Take all those pictures down, make a big, long case going right there on the front of the window.
So why not redecorate? Why go to all that trouble to keep the buckle tradition alive? Kathy Bankston sums it up nicely.
You meet a lot of people in the barbershop, very interesting people, and you kind of treasure all of them.
Have a good one. Thanks, Kevin.
In Bend, I'm Alan Schaffler, Central Oregon Daily News.